Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. One of the problems of making things that I like is I tend to want to try and protect them at least a little bit from the use and abuse that tools get into when they're on a job site. If you want a perfect example of that sort of wear and tear, just look at my acrylic toolbox organizer. I put that together a little over a year and a few months ago, and it has got a whole pile of nicks and cracks and scratches in it, and at this point there's actually a piece missing. And as I said at the beginning of this, is I would like to protect this thing because I actually like this toolbox. It's really quite handy, and it has solved a bunch of problems of some of the commercial ones that you can buy. And to that extent, I want to do a couple things to make it last longer. First off, one of the things I did it off camera, was I coated the outside of it in a paste wax, and that hopefully will prevent it from some of the abuse that water, salt, slush, and snow can damage the wood. The other thing I want to do is I want to get the bottom off the ground, and the easiest way of doing that is to put some legs on it. And if you remember from the beginning of this video, the first thing I wanted to do was I had some apple hardwood. And what I wanted to do is put two bands, one on one end, one on the other, and that would keep it off the ground. And then I'd realize that a couple things. First off, I didn't have enough apple hardwood of the right size. And the other thing is, it is really nice wood, and I didn't really want to stick it on the bottom of a toolbox where no one's ever actually going to ever see it. And yeah, so what I did is I switched over to this, which is some oak I recovered from a rocking chair that I managed to pull out of the trash actually a few years ago now, and I still have bits and pieces of it left. So I cut two pieces, and what I was going to do is I was going to put two bands, again, like I said, one on one end, one on the other. And what I was going to do is I was going to reduce the thickness of it in the center bit, so I would end up creating two bands with two legs on each side and four legs. And then I thought to myself, well, that's an awful lot of work to go to. And I figured, well, the easiest way of doing that would be just to make four legs. And that's where we're at this point in the video. And this is actually kind of shows a lot of some of the process I go through when I'm, building something, but more of kind of tinkering with things, trying to figure out what I would like and what would work out best. Because I had a bit of spare time, and I didn't want to spend, I haven't really spent an awful lot of time on this. We're looking at this point, maybe half hour, 45 minutes I've spent on this. Not a lot of time, and like I said, it was just trying some stuff out and seeing what I liked. So at this point, I figured what I'll do is I had a bit of this rubber. This is 1 inch wide, and I was going to use it for another job, a project I was working on. I still am working on that, and I will get to hopefully put a video up for you guys at some point. But I had enough of it left over, I thought I might as well use it. So what I'm going to do is sand off these blocks, and then I'm going to sand also the rubber, and I'm going to make four little feet out of this, and I'm going to epoxy them together. And then what I was going to do is I was going to use dowels to put them together on the bottom of the toolbox. And I was thinking, this is the kind of process my brain goes through, by the way. I was thinking that, I may not actually end up liking these. So I thought, well, what I could do is I could put dowels, glue them in onto the legs themselves here, and then just drill a shallow hole into the bottom of the box, and then just friction fit these in there. And then so, well, unfortunately I would still have put holes in the bottom of the box, even if they are shallow and don't go all the way through. It might cause problems. And then when I finally got these all done, I have looked at it and I put them up against the box, and even though like I said before, no one's ever going to see this. This is not something that's on the bottom of the box. And well, I didn't like the look of them. Even though, like I said, I didn't waste a lot of time, it is kind of a waste of a bit of materials. So what I end up doing is something completely different. And again, like I said, this is sometimes the way my process works. I will try something out and then get to the point where I just don't actually like the look of it. So in the end, I went with something else completely different. And the one thing that I kind of hemmed and hawed about this for a little bit, because to this point, the entire box, the whole toolbox, is entirely put together using no screws, no nails, no nothing. It's just all dowels. It's all wood and glue, and that's it. And I wanted to keep it that way because, well, first off, to tell you the truth, I really don't know the answer to that question. But part of me just wanted to keep it going that way. In the end, I am going to use screws to hold the new legs on, not these ones. Because the legs I decided to go with are actually really good. I've used them before for other projects, and I find that it's extremely good. It doesn't scratch. And so here we're at here. This is the finished blocks. And that's what I was going to do probably in the other orientation, but I didn't like the look of them. So what I want to do is I am going to use that rod that you saw there, and I'm going to make 4, this is called Delrin. It's machinable plastic. It is very hard. It works really well. And like I said, it won't scratch hardwood floors when I'm putting it on there, and it will definitely keep the bottom off here, and it'll last for a very long time. And unfortunately, like I said, I'm going to be used because there isn't any glue that's going to hold this onto the wood, especially after it's got a paste wax and oil finish on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these. I'm going to bevel the edges. I'm going to drill a hole through the center of it. I'm going to also put a recessed hole so that the screw head will fit inside. And yeah, I'm going to cut 4 of these to length. And then I'm going to use metal cap screws to hold these to the bottom of the box. So this is a drill bit that is sufficiently diameter that the screw will just fit through. And then I'm going to use an end mill just to put that recessed pocket where the head of the screw is going to fit. And like I said, this is very quick and easy to do. And if I had to start it with this, this whole job would have taken me maybe an hour. So in the end, it was a couple hours, but I think it's no big deal. Put a little piece of tape on here. I know it's not the best way of doing this, but I didn't need to be specific about the actual depth of this hole. Just ballpark it, and as soon as the tape rubs like that, it is deep enough. And what I'm going to do here is do this 4 more times, and then I'm going to cut them to size. So these are going to be within 1/1000th of an inch, believe it or not, of the same height. So at least it won't rock as long as the floor is even as well. And then it's just a simple matter of screwing these in place. There you go. It is a very simple method of making really good legs. The only thing I was kind of hemming and hawing about was how high to keep this off the ground. I had originally gone with 1.25 inches, but it was too high because I was concerned that when I move this in and out of the vehicle, and also, sorry about that, a little bit of a slip there with the drill. I'm just going to slightly drill through here, not just enough to get through the coating on the outside of the box now with all that material on it, and then I'll just screw these in place. I was worried that the larger legs, when I'm moving around, would catch on stuff and I would bang against it, and then I could end up cracking them. So I went with these. This is a 1-inch screw in total. So this is, you're looking at 1 inch, sorry, 3/4 of an inch, and then 1/2 inch inside is for the leg, and then 1/2 inch the screw goes through the box. And there you go. Long story short, it has 4 legs now. So thanks for watching. Leave comments. Let me know what you think about all this, and I'll see you in the next video. And bye for now.